right, can you look at doing top 30 magicians, okay guys, from your life. So we'll look now for the next 10 minutes or so an amazing top 30 or so magicians that affected me in my life, seriously, that I saw when I was a kid onwards. I started magic in 1981, so relax now for 10 minutes or so. Let's look at some maybe 30 or so really top brilliant magicians I've seen over the years. Yes, since the 1980s, seriously guys. You like this video? I'm 55 years old now, so let's vlog now for 10 minutes or so at 30 really top brilliant magicians, illusionists I've seen over my life in the last 40 years. Let's go guys, let's go. And there's many great magicians, of course, I could really say about. Even now I'm thinking there's magicians coming out of my head that I'm thinking about having put on the list. But anyway, let's pick out 30 really amazing people that I kind of met, kind of knew a bit as well over the years. That was really good at magic, seriously. So number one I pick, I think, is Lance Burton, of course, great magician, of course, in Las Vegas. I did meet him 30 odd years ago. Very good magician, of course. Probably the most elegant magician I've seen in my life. One of them, seriously. He's a beautiful, elegant magician with beautiful silks, canes, and dove magic, really, wasn't he? Last but of course, but started, I think, back in the 1980s when I saw him originally. Saw him back about 1981, 1982, and I saw him originally on television. And of course, he's still going, still alive, of course. He's still a great magician. His show in Las Vegas was fantastic. Pretty elegant show. Good old Lance Burton, of course. Brilliant magician from Las Vegas. I met him, hi to Lance. And he really is a brilliant, elegant magician. One of the best dove acts of all time, seriously. Dove acts of all time. Probably almost as good as Channing Pollock's 1960s dove routine. But I do love his doves and his fire candles, doves, canes. He's an immaculate performer, of course. The wonderful Lance Burton, of course. Really one of the world's great magicians. I just love the guy, seriously. It's going to be hard to do this, isn't it, in 30 minutes, isn't it? To do this video, because there's so many people I could talk about. There's so many I could talk about, aren't there? Okay, number two, I think, of course, I would have to say certainly Paul Daniels. In the UK, Paul Daniels was number one magician in the 1970s to about 1990s, of course, like 79 to 1995, of course, a big magician, of course. He was a little short guy, 5 foot taller, so he was a bald guy with a wig, but he was a great magician, of course. Everyone knows he was from Northern England, Middlesbrough, North England, and he was a big performer. A brilliant kind of patter magician, of course, you probably realise. Patterist, talking magician. He wasn't really a silent magician, a patter magician, of course. He grew up started magic in the 1950s, of course, and during the 1980s he kind of ruled the show of magic in the UK, seriously. He was popular, I think, in Southeast Asia, Australia as well, but he's a great magician, of course, with Deb McGee. I love the guy, what a great magician. His cups and balls, Lincoln rings, floating Star Wars, levitation, his electric chairs routines were fantastic, of course. His show was fantastic. He did I think he still holds a record for the longest ever running show in the West of London doing magic. It was called It's Magic back in 1981. Funniest patter magician I've ever seen in my life. A brilliant magician. I met him several times, of course, when he was on television when I was 18, 19. I met him several times on television myself. Met him, went to the show. What a funny patter all-rounder magician Paul Daniels was. And of course he died about 10 years ago. Anyway, that's Paul Daniels, of course. Next up, of course, David Berglass. I love David Berglass. I've met him a few times. I met him in very early 1990s. He's passed away. He passed away in his 90s. He was a great magician, mentalist. He looked like a magician, didn't he? With his beard, didn't he? His beard, his magic beard. He looked like a magician, didn't he, of course, didn't he, David Berglass. He had a show on Channel 4 in the late 80s. You might remember his amazing mind reader, wasn't he? He used to do mind reading, and he would do prediction, and the prediction would be engraved at the bottom of a silver ball. He had a little ball. I remember he had, and the bottom under the ball was engraved the prediction. He was so good. He also knew many magicians. Anyway, he was a great. He's a great magician, thinker, artist, particularly mind reading. I think he loved the trick where the card at any number in the pack was one of his big tricks. And he also worked in movies like, didn't he? Some big movies he worked on. I think he worked in Willow and stuff, and many other big movies. And he also, I remember him doing, he did a big trick where he vanished the piano and stuff like that. He was a great magician, really a mind reader magician, not a mind reading, mentalism magician, of course. He was popular in the 1950s onwards till his death. But he was on television in the 1980s, seriously, I remember that very well. Another great magician, Ali Bongo. Ali Bongo was a great British magician, of course. I met him at Blackpool Convention. I met him at Leicester. I went to Leicester Magic Circle. I met him. I was 20 years old. He was the king of what can I say, Southeast Asian kind of, wasn't it? Asian kind of fusion magic, wasn't it? He looked like a kind of like a Middle Eastern fakir, didn't he? With a big hat and a fez on, didn't he? He used to wear a fez hat, didn't he? And he was a very funny, clever magician, very good inventor of magic, and he was a very nice bloke, very lovely bloke, wasn't he? Ali Bongo. He was a great inventor. He was a great brain behind the Paul Daniels show in the 1980s and 1990s. He invented many tricks, Paul Daniels show actually, in television, BBC television. Great thinker of magic. Very funny show. The Shriek of Araby, wasn't it? This show, kind of comedy magic, very funny comedy magic. He was a good magician, Ali Bongo. He used to write some good books too on magic. Also, David Blaine, of course, came in the late 1990s, and very great card magician, of course. He's really a street magician. I think he brought street magic to the fore, didn't he, with cards and stuff. David Blaine. He's also like an Evel Knievel stunt artist magician, isn't he? He locked himself in a box, didn't he, in 2002, was it? 2003? In London. He spent about a week in a box, didn't he? Hanging above the Tower Bridge or something, didn't he? In a box, without eating or drinking for a week or something. Amazing guy, but he's a brilliant magician, of course. I loved his card magic, and he's a brilliant magician on the streets, bringing street magic. Very cool, wasn't he? And still is, David Blaine. A very mystical kind of guy, David Blaine, brilliant magician. He certainly changed magic a lot, didn't he? In the last 25 years, he changed magic quite a lot, didn't he? David Blaine, to something different. From the classics, Doug Henning, of course, back in the 1970s, great magician. Did about 8 or 9 TV specials, big, spectacular shows in the 70s too. I think he died in the 80s, didn't he? And he had a show, he did a lot of shows in the early 80s. Spectacular, big magic illusions. Things go bump of the night, producing a tiger on stage, didn't he? In the boxes, walking through a wall, didn't he? He did the mousetrap illusion, which was done by Eric Slogan. Oh God, he did so many shows, didn't he? I remember he did a show called The Flaming Encounter, where he vanished in a fire in a giant box and appeared somewhere else in the audience. Floating levitation, beautiful levitation, in fact, levitation from the fountain of water. He did that levitation. Shows are very old, very dated now, but he was a brilliant, very funny kind of like Godspell, wasn't he? Kind of Godspell magician, wasn't he? Kind of like sort of like 60s, 70s kind of, what was he? A bit of a hippie magician, wasn't he? The great Doug Henning, one of the best magicians I've ever seen in my life. So influential, so brilliant, so clever, Doug Henning, and also one of the world's biggest magicians of all time, along with David Copperfield, of course. Up next is Slydini. I love Slydini. I might list the magician. Slydini was the best close-upper of all time, probably, but he's a brilliant magician. Just check him out on YouTube, Slydini. 50s, 60s, 70s. You know, you can see him on Dick Cavett show, can't you? Slydini, what a brilliant magician. I can't say enough words about how brilliant he was. Coins through table, wasn't he? Remember that? He did Cut and Store Rope with Teen really beautifully. His performance, presentation, his style. He felt like a real magician. When I watched Slydini, I thought he was like a real magician, Slydini. Helicopter card. Check him out on YouTube, Slydini. If you don't know much about magic, get on YouTube and check out Slydini. You know, very low budget magic, but a brilliant, skilled magician, Slydini. One of the world's greatest magicians, Slydini. Popular in television in New York City. He's like the Picasso of magic. The Picasso of magic, Slydini. Check him out. Alan Allen, of course. Alan Allen was a great friend of mine back in the 1980s. I was still a teenager. He taught me a lot of magic. Like, I think he taught Mike Vincent, taught me a lot of magic. I used to go to his magic shop in Southampton Row in London and in Holborn. He had that shop for almost 20 years, but you know, he was a little guy, and he was escapologist, and he's featured on the One show in the UK. They did a feature on him actually. The BBC did about a couple of years ago. He was escapologist in the 1950s. Apparently he had to give it up, and he did the upside down burning rope escape with fire. So he set the rope on fire, and he'd be upside down for the burning rope on fire. Performed, I think, in a show, Secret Cabaret Show, 1990. Saw him on that, doing the upside down escape rope from the rope, upside down escape. He invented that burning rope escape. Who did he? Did the original 100 years ago, but Alan Allen invented the burning upside down rope escape. He did it, and also performed on the Copperfield show, 1980, didn't he? 1979. Performed on DC's Copperfield show. There you are. He was a brilliant magician, very, very clever little guy, very clever magician, very funny little guy. Loved Alan Allen. I love him, and I haven't seen him. I didn't see him much in the last 30 years. I didn't the last 10 years of his life. I didn't see him that much the last 10 years of his life. I saw him a lot during the 80s and early 1990s. So I went to see quite a few shows with him. I went to see Phantom of the Opera with him. Me and him went together to see Phantom of the Opera in the West End. He was teaching me about theatre, Alan Allen. I can speak all day about Alan Allen. Next up, as you say, he died about 14 years ago, Alan Allen. He died at the age of 84 or something. Alan Allen, brilliant magician, little guy, friend of Copperfield. Next up, Mike Vincent. Love Mike Vincent. He's one of Britain's black magicians. He's started in the late 70s. He's also one of Alan Allen's proteges. Performed on television a lot in the 1990s, some on some TV shows. He was on Penn and Teller's show a decade ago, wasn't he? Brilliant magician, fantastic close-up magician with coins and silks and stuff. A fantastic artist. Mike Vincent, brilliant magician. I loved him he did beautiful card through silk handkerchief beautifully. And that was about 35 years ago, Magic Circle. I saw him performing that. Wonderful Mike Vincent, what a great magician. One of Britain's lovely, beautiful, great performer, technically fantastic magician. Mike Vincent. He's on, check out the YouTube Paul Daniels show 30 years ago, was on that. Ricky Jay, of course, Ricky Jay, one of the great magicians, Ricky Jay. In 1970s and 80s magician. He performed on Paul Daniels show in the 1980s. He also performed on Doug Henning show in the 1970s. His flying cards, his flying aces. Flying from pack to pack to pack was a magnificent patter routine, very funny patter. He was brilliant at merging patter with magic so well, wasn't he? Patter magician with magic so well. Very funny guy, a lot of comedy magic, patter magic. Technically brilliant magician. He could be a bit macabre and weird in some ways as well in some of his videos, but he's a brilliant magician. One of the all-time greats, Ricky Jay. He wrote a lot of books too on magic. Ricky Jay, check out Ricky Jay on YouTube. Of course, Criss Angel, of course, big magician, last 25 years, started late 1990s. Some of his magic's so baffling, including the cutting the girl in two and himself in two on his back, along his back and being cut clean in two, body over there, legs over there. Amazing artist magician. He's kind of rock and roll magician, isn't he? A bit like the Guns N' Roses magic. Many shows in the 2000s. He's kind of merging street magic with stage magic a bit, isn't it? And also big, I think, perform on Las Vegas Strip, isn't he? Performing a big show on Las Vegas Strip. He's one of the world's best magicians. I think he actually, was very influenced by Doug Henning, actually. And Doug, I must go to Criss Angel's show. He's hot, still hot right now. Still hot right now, Criss Angel, isn't he? Hot right now and alive right now. Next up, of course, I've got to say, of course, is another weird choice here is Anthony Owen. I loved Anthony Owen. He was a brilliant magician in the 1980s. He was very young. He's the best magician I've ever seen in my life, actually, for his age. I remember him performing in London at the age of 16, 17. And he was stunning. And I know Anthony's passed on now. He died, I think, about 10 years ago. But he was a good friend of mine, actually. And we used to hang about an awful lot in the late 80s and early 1990s. And he's behind a lot of big other... I think he behind quite a lot of big TV shows in the recent years for television stations. He's a TV producer in later years. And he produced shows, I think, with Darren Brown. Worked with people like that. Worked with people like Darren Brown and stuff. Other artists as well, but Anthony was a genius magician himself. He was best magician I've ever seen, and for his age, he was very clever. Like a little Paul Daniels, was very clever comedy patter magician, and he's very funny indeed. Anthony Owen, and I'm sorry he's passed on, but I'll do a whole video about Anthony, and I wish he was alive still. But what a fantastic magician! He really was a brilliant magician, Anthony Owen. And also a great thinker of magic too, and an inspiring person, Anthony Owen, good friend of mine. Anthony, a good friend of mine back in the day. Up next, of course, well, what can I say? David Copperfield, of course, DC, often thought to be the world's best magician, of course, with 17 big, massive shows, American television, shown around the world. No one's bigger than Copperfield, are there? He was a world's biggest magician and big entertainer. Was one of the highest earning entertainers apparently of all time, along with the Rolling Stones or something. His shows are massive. I saw him at Earl's Court in 1994 in London, performed to, I think, tens of thousands of people in the audience. I don't know, 30,000 people in the audience. I don't know, it's massive audience. It's thousands of people in the audience. Like a rock and roll show. He sort of brought magic, didn't he? 80s kind of music and rock and roll to magic, didn't he? You know, Vanishing Motorcycle. The Matrix is amazing, but his, obviously Vanishing Aeroplane, Vanishing Statue of Liberty, Walking Through Great Wall of China, of course, Alcatraz Escape, Challenging Bermuda Triangle, over the Niagara Falls, Team floating around the stage like Peter Pan. That was a big show of the 80s, 1990s. The buzzsaw being chopped to by the giant buzzsaw. That wonderful illusion, the buzzsaw he did, it blew everyone's mind, that buzzsaw, didn't it, when it was shown 1988, was it? So Copperfield, of course, the world's greatest magician. I mean, you can write a book about him. Now, the world's greatest magician probably since Houdini, David Copperfield, of course. Next up, of course, I loved another magician, UK magician, Geoffrey Durham, very good magician, Geoffrey Durham. He was popular in the 1980s. He did quite a lot of telly shows. He was a short, little, chubby, fat guy, really. Geoffrey Durham, very, very good magician on television, as the Great Soprano. I loved his show. He was very popular. Very, very technically very good magician. He was very technically very good. Very, very funny comedy magician too. Lovely guy, Geoffrey Durham. Did meet him once a long time ago. Probably Blackpool Convention of Magicians, but I met him. Other big magician, American magician, was Harry Blackstone, big legendary American magician, of course. The legendary family of magic, dynasty of magic, wasn't it, of course, with his amazing buzzsaw, the girl being chopped into the giant buzzsaw. And that was one of the big routines, plus the floating, was it floating light bulb, wasn't it? The floating light bulb trick, because that was his big trick, wasn't it? Saw that performed, and he floated the light bulb over the audience's heads. Floated over the audience's head. I remember seeing it was mind blowing. A lot of people thought the floating light bulb by him was the best trick of all time. Maybe it is. Harry Blackstone with the beard. He did a lot of stuff. Dancing Handkerchief, Vanishing Birdcage. Check him out on YouTube. Harry Blackstone, legendary American magician, entertainer. Passed away, I think 30 years ago, passed away, but he was a brilliant magician, but very 1980s, very good indeed. Siegfried, of course, big magicians, they both, of course, passed on, but they were big, of course, the Las Vegas shows, the 80s and 1990s. Siegfried appeared, all those lions, those tigers in the show, the tiger floating in the ball. They did so many tricks in the show, levitations. I love Roy's levitation over the audience, and Roy floating over the audience's heads. God, that was amazing. Vanishing motorbikes. Oh, the show was amazing, was it? I think a giant dragon appeared on the stage, didn't it? I was there. I saw the show 2 or 3 times in Las Vegas myself, 30 odd years ago. God, the amount of tricks in it. The vanishing elephant was great. The pairing elephant, wasn't it? That was massive in their show. Love the tigers. Tigers appear in boxes, vanishing in boxes. Oh God, the show was probably the most lavish, extravagant, expensive show of all time. Siegfried Roy, what a show it was up at the Mirage Las Vegas 30 years ago. Another video about that one, isn't it? And the good magician, of course, Alan Shaxon. Loved Alan Shaxon. Good magician was Alan Shaxon. Good UK magician. Loved his show. He was a big magician in the UK. Performed many did pop videos with Catch Goo Goo. He's in that 80s pop band. He was a very good magician, and I saw him as fairly old when I did see him. He's passed on, but he's a very good magician, Alan Shaxon. Loved his show. And did the Miss Made Girl or something, that show, and also some of the Gaslight, which is a rarity. Magic did that as well, and also Fired a Cane. Very good magician, Alan Shaxon. Up next, Dynamo. Dynamo, of course, one of the big magicians the last 20 years, UK. He's come out, he's a bit like a David Blaine takeoff, wasn't he? I love Dynamo. Walking in water, walking on the River Thames. But Dynamo is taking, stunt magic, big magic, a bit like David Blaine did, and made his name with some big tricks. Hanging off the side of a bus, was floating off the side of a bus, wasn't he? London bus around London. And also walking in water, of course, walking through a glass window. I think he did walking between buildings, but a bit like Criss did. That was a couple of years ago. Dynamo's great because he's on television, still on Sky TV in UK a lot, and he's a good magician. Love Dynamo. Love his very, very good magician. Love his show, Dynamo. Love it, Dynamo show. And also, it's great to see a British magician still really good. He's a very straight magician, of course, like Criss Angel, the way it is nowadays. Criss Angel, like David Blaney, straight magician. But I love Dynamo, great British magician. And one of the best to come out of the UK from the north of England as well, which is great. Magicalmike's me, of course. What about a bit of Magicalmike? Started during 1980s, performed a lot of shows in Greece, Turkey, Spain, 1990s. A lot of shows I did. There's me, better me, Magicalmike in there as well. I did a lot of shows. Performed in amphitheatres in Greece and Turkey a lot myself during the 1990s. A lot of shows. I did ropes, rings, cards across. electric chairs, that kind of stuff. Good magician, me. I'll move on from me, though, as I did make the video. You know what I mean? I did make the video. Up next, Eugene Berger. Eugene Berger, big magician, of course. I love Eugene Berger. Great, funny. He's kind of like a slight ghoulish, kind of Dracula type magician. Anyway, it's funny guy. I loved his stuff. He performed on Paul Daniels' Halloween shows in the 1980s in the UK, and he's a brilliant magician, brilliant orator, speaker, weaving tales, I love weaving stories and tales into magic. You know what I mean? He used to do that. He did the flip card, the time warp card trick very well. He did kind of seance, kind of magic. Oh, a brilliant magician. Haunted handkerchief. I loved his performance, his style, his patter. I love that stuff. I love his time warp card. Check out Paul Daniels' Halloween show, 1988. He's on that. Watch him and learn. Watch Eugene Berger and learn. Watch his performance, his patter, weaving stories in magic. Fantastic guy. I think he's passed on. Bless him. Up next, Jerry Sadowitz, of course. He's a mythical Jerry Sadowitz because he disappeared. He was on television 35 years ago in the UK. Best card magician I've ever seen. Fantastic card magician. I think he was a protege of Roy Johnson. Jerry Sadowitz, he was kind of like, he does kind of raw, kind of like out there kind of comedy, kind of like shocking out there comedy, but he's a brilliant magician with cards. You can get him on, you can watch him, I think he's in the Criss Angel show, TFI Fridays. He's on there late 90s. He does brilliant card magic on there. He's so good at card magic. What a card magician. Brilliant card magician. The best I've seen. And he's a bit of a shocker. He's kind of an out there alternative comedy type magician, wasn't he? But he disappeared. I did meet him with Alan Allen. I met him with Alan almost 30 years ago, more than that probably. When I was a teenager, about 20 years old, but a brilliant magician. Jerry Sadowitz. Shame he's not on TV very much because he was a brilliant card magician, Jerry Sadowitz. Up next was Wayne Dobson. Dobson. He was on television in the UK between 89, 99, 1993. The big TV show. With Linda Lusardi, the page 3 model. Brilliant magician. His show was really quite a sexy, exotic show, actually. Beautifully staged, beautifully done by ITV. I think it was produced by the man who produced The X Factor, I think, who worked with Simon Cowell, the producer. Nigel Lithgow, I think, produced it. And that's quite a really good magic show. I loved it, Wayne Dobson. He was a funny, fast, funny pattern magician. A bit like Paul Daniels, a fast, funny pattern magician. He did great stuff, card stuff. I loved the cups and balls. Really, really good. I think he was protege wrote another magician I didn't know from Leicester. He was kind of Leicester's best magician. Wayne Dobson, he had Ring a Rabbit. He did a lot of illusions, levitations, vanish, appearing in a helicopter from nowhere, lots of brilliant close-up. He did the whole gamut of magic cards across a visible deck. I loved his, he did Knife Through Jacket brilliantly. Brilliant magician, very funny comedy magician, very, very funny comedy magician. Very influential on me. I loved his comedy patter, so good. He was on the Royal Variety Show. Great magician, he's passed on, hasn't he? He got MS. Sadly later in life, but Wayne Dobson, fantastic. Up next, Shim Lin, of course. Shim Lin, great Southeast Asian magician. I think he's from Singapore, isn't he? He came out of kind of nowhere on America's Got Talent, didn't he? And a fantastic magician, one of the best magicians of modern times. Brilliant close-up, weaving smoke effects with magic cards. Very good magician. Love Shim Lin. Very good. He does the he does that Copperfield kind of Slydini kind of whatever, that kind of very exotic kind of magic, weaving the hands and mysterious magic, and like I'm a real magician, Great, so good in Las Vegas too. So what can I say? Fantastic magician, Shim Lin, one of the best magicians of modern times. Love Shim Lin. So Penn and Teller started back about 40 years ago, back in mid-1980s, with a big massive show. They won an award, didn't they, for that show? Penn and Teller Goes Public, it was called, I think. Did a lot of TV shows. I mean, they've been TV in America and Britain. They're going to Las Vegas, giving away secrets and not giving away secrets, you know what I mean? Running Teller over with a lorry, but not really running him over. They do so many illusions. Very brilliant comedy magician. Teller says nothing, Penn says it all. What can I say? Big show in Las Vegas, very comedy, very, very funny show. The great Penn and Teller, certainly one of the most significant magicians in the last 40 years. Seriously, 40 years, isn't it, Penn and Teller? Next, the magician I love Stephan Vanel. Stephan Vanel's another Las Vegas performer. Fantastic versions of the origami box. The girl gets squashed in a little box. Stephan Vanel, fantastic magician, artist. I love his show. He's a brilliant performer, and I want to see more of Stephan Vanel. Fantastic performer, beautiful lady with him as well. Love it. Stephan Vanel, fantastic magician in Las Vegas. Love his act. I think he's French, but I'd love to see more of his act. He's a lovely magician. He really stuck out to me looking at lots of performers, how good Stephan Vanel really is. Brilliant magician, love it. Another magician I like as well is Jonny Hart. Jonny Hart, of course, great performer, of course. Jonny Hart, you know, very popular in the 1980s. He performed Magic Castle in London, West End, mid-1980s. I saw the show myself. I was 14. Brilliant dubs, wasn't it? Dubs, was it dubs and ropes and silks and rings and all that kind of stuff? There's many good magicians I can mention. Jonny Hart, love Jonny Hart. What a great performer, wasn't he? Another great magician, of course, Goshman, influential magician with close-up coins and sponge balls. He really created, I think, the sponge ball magic that we also loved, don't we, as a magician, sponge balls. His great performance, close-up, wonderful magician. Try and get him on YouTube video, Goshman with his sponge balls. He restores my faith in magic when I see him perform. In his close-up, I think it was salt and pepper pots. I think he must have passed on, but he was a really great magician back in a bit like Slydini, that kind of level of magic. Slydini, Goshman, of course. Also, Renee Lavand, of course, was a Latin American, Argentinian magician, of course, performed 80s, 90s and television. He got on the Paul Daniels show a few times with his beautiful cards. He had one arm and he blank cards, print cards get blank, cards get printed. He's a wonderful magician, Renee Lavand. Loved his performance so much. He was a beautiful magician with wonderful patter delivery, very elegant, very poetic. This is where magic and poetry kind of meet. Poetry, the beats and magic. You know, Renee Lavand, one of the world's greatest card magicians. And he did also, I think he did 3 balls and 1 cup as well, beautifully. Renee Lavand, check out his show again, Google it. Renee Lavand, wonderful magician. Also wonderful, I love this magician as well. This is, when picking up girl magicians, I want to pick up another one, Chloe. I like Chloe Crawford. Not the world's great magician, but she's a really good performer. I like Chloe Crawford. Last of modern magicians, she's very entertaining. I like his shows, Chloe Crawford. Love her act, that kind of stuff she does. She did very good razor blade. 18 razor blades coming out of the string that trick Eugene did. And I remember a magician called Paul Potassi doing it, you know, where you eat razor blades and pull the string out and the razor blades hang on the string. I used to do it myself, actually, razor blades in the mouth on the string. It was invented by Houdini, but Chloe Crawford did it really well, actually. Chloe Crawford, good magician, obviously. I liked a bit of girl magic, a bit of sexy girl magic, wonderful, kind of Las Vegas showgirl type magic, Chloe Crawford, very good. And one for UK magicians too, Chloe Crawford. Did like Chloe a lot. Very good magician, like Chloe a lot. Hi to Chloe Crawford. And also, of course, also over here, as we had about 30 magicians on this, and this is, I could go easily over another, make 100 magicians of this. God, there's many people I can mention. Also, I did like Hans Klok. I love Hans Klok. What a good magician Hans Klok, isn't he? World's fastest magician, of course. And some people think he goes too fast with his magic. He's very fast. He's a very fast magician, Hans Klok. But a great commercial performer, of course, with magic. Beautiful ladies, levitating girls. He does the 3 grace illusion, you know, and that stuff. He does so many stuff, levitations, doesn't he? Very effective, very cool, effective magician indeed. Hans Klok, one of the world's greatest performers. Yeah, he's very fast magic, isn't he? He's very blatant fast magic, but I think Hans Klok is a very important performer of the modern times, and certainly, and the elegance Copperfield, a bit replaced with the fast style of Hans Klok. I love Hans Klok from Holland's magicians. Think about it, there's 30 guys. I could do more magic. There's more I could pick up. I could pick up everyone from Eric Shan to Eric Slogans to Eugene to Darren Brown to Zach King, Matt Fragger, and the many magicians. I'm going to go. I might do another video. Seriously, even more I can pick up. Magicians are that, but that 30 I just saw particularly kind of affected me a bit when I want to watch them a little bit myself for the last 40 years or so. Those magicians, there's many more magicians I mentioned. Those guys, a lot of them affected me a little bit more personally. I was studying magic over the years. There's many great, very good performers in magic I've seen. And it's nice also to mention Anthony Owen, of course, who's a good mate of mine as a teenager and was a very good magician and thinker of magic. But also there's many people who are very good at magic who I kind of saw over the years I really liked. And there's also many more too that I will obviously have to mention, let alone, of course, Russ Stevens, of course, in the UK. But I'll get onto more magicians later on, seriously. If I could do another video, make another list of 30, 40 more magicians. So I hope you enjoyed it over here, as always, over here, guys. Please remember, please do like the video. Please subscribe as well, please do, guys. Subscribe, share the videos, please do, as always, guys. More sharing is caring. Share the videos to your friends, please do magic. Hope you like my perspective there on 30 top magicians of magic. But I hope you enjoyed that very much indeed, guys. It's a lot to do, isn't it, in 30 minutes, isn't it? A lot to do in 30 minutes. So, anyway, love you you all, guys. See you soon. That's my friends around the world. Southeast Asia, Japan, also America, Las Vegas, London, of course, France, Germany too. And, of course, in the UK. Love you all. See you soon, guys. Subscribe. And more tricks to come as we get to spring 2026 and more tricks. Love you all, guys. See you soon, and bye for now.